Man, Rooster, it's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere. Welcome back, everybody, to
It's that show.
I'm Bishop.
I'm Rooster.
And we got some nasty to talk about. That nasty ass shit that is in your food.
Right? Dude, I swear to God, it's like, that's probably what kills like most people is just all the processed food we eat throughout our entire lives of just giving us cancers. And I've been seeing so many videos online about all this shit and people move into like all organic foods. Even my mom and my sister are on this diet thing trying to avoid all this corn, vegetable oil, and I don't know the ins and outs of it, obviously, but
well, I mean, I'll tell you honestly, it's like a lot of the foods, like and it's foods that you wouldn't think are like necessarily bad.
Yeah,
for. I mean, you know, they got a lot of sugar and shit in them, but you start looking at ingredients,
right? You
start finding shit like paint thinner is used in there. You're like,
right? You see anthrax or something, you're like, what the fuck?
Hold the fuck on. Has this been in here the entire time, or is this like a new addition that nobody talks about? Like, I don't understand it.
It's funny too because like a lot of ingredients that are in our food are like banned in so many other countries.
Yeah, I mean, like 3/4 of the shit we eat, they won't even let you through a fucking airport in another country with.
Right?
They're like, no.
Seriously.
No.
Right.
It's bad.
Right.
It's really bad.
It totally makes me think that like this shit is literally what adds up and gives everyone cancer by the time they're 60.
Well, it makes me wonder, like, have we really actually been disposing of all those chemicals? Or are we just like, no, well, they can just add a little bit in here and they'll eat it. That's fine. They eat everything else,
right?
You know? It's like the whole movie Idiocracy. They're like, no, it's got electrolytes. It's fucking fine.
It's good for plants. For real though. Seriously. Like I wish we had more easy access to like actually good food that wasn't like fucking expensive as fuck.
But that's the thing though, right? Like if you look at, because you know I like to cook, in case you haven't been able to tell you I like to cook. But like making real food is not that hard. It just takes more time.
Yeah.
And of course, in today's day and age, people don't have that time. Mm-hmm. They have to actually learn how to time management better.
Yeah.
To have that time. But it's literally everything is at the store. It's not like it's hidden. It's just called fucking produce. It's just called fucking produce. Like, and it's not even. And that's the thing is like to have the label organic only has to meet a certain criteria. It doesn't mean that it meets the whole organic scale of that criteria. It just has to meet a certain criteria, and so that in itself is a farce, right? So it makes me wonder. I go, I mean, and a lot of those foods I've cut out over the past 6 months or so. But then I also sent you that video of what happens when you drink
a Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, soft drink.
Crazy.
And the time breakdown of what happens, and it's giving me goosebumps thinking about it. And now I'm like, I enjoyed my root beer, but that's caffeine free. But still, the sugar and the chemicals and stuff are in there.
Yeah. And that was so crazy. Like you said, it broke it down by like every 15 minutes, what it does to your body.
Right.
The reaction that your liver has to 100 grams of sugar, like your entire daily intake of sugar in a 5-minute period of drinking a soda, and like how it like hyper converts that all into fat to get rid of it as quickly as possible. And there were like 10 other things where I was like, how are people still alive after drinking this for their whole fucking lives?
But there is some similarity and some like and some sort of reverence into that. For an example, I mean, when we used to work at the unnamed store we used to work at, we had some clients that came in on a regular that all of a sudden they disappeared for a couple months and they came back in and they like dropped 20-30 pounds and looked really good. Like what
did you do, bro?
Yeah, and they were like, the number one thing they did was they cut out soda.
Yeah.
They cut out soft drinks. Right? And I was like, huh? And like, I know another guy where, you know, he's not a small guy by any means. He's got to be like 6'3", 6'4", and he was probably pushing 360, 370. Damn. And that dude weighs 180 pounds now.
Holy shit.
And he looks amazing. Right?
Really?
He is happy. He's healthy. He's like bouncing all over the place. he cut out caffeine, he cut out processed sugar, he cut out all these different things. And I'm like, just by doing that?
Right,
he's
just
like,
by not drinking fucking soft drinks?
Well, and then he said that the only thing he did is he forced himself for like 3 months to go to the gym every single day and get on the treadmill and walk for an hour.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
No lifting weights, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just walk.
Yeah.
Wally?
Where are our hover chairs?
Right? Like, what is going on here? But seeing that in a clinical sense of seeing how it's broken down in 15-minute intervals,
Yeah.
that's scary as shit,
Super
bro.
scary. I was like, what the fuck?
And people are like, I don't know how I got diabetes. Has nothing to do with the 4 cases of goddamn soda in your refrigerator.
Do you drink water?
Right.
No.
But that in itself also has its own thing, right? We haven't even talked about that. Like, when you talk about water municipalities and what they put in the water, now everybody's like, there's fluoride in there. And I'm like, okay. Maybe in some areas, but not every area. But in almost all water municipalities, they put chlorine.
Yeah.
Now, chlorine is a known
Toxin, literally.
toxin that will give you cancer.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and they're putting this shit in your water. And people that are on wells have far less occurrences with medical issues than city water drinkers. Yeah. And I'm like, I need Bill Nye.
Right?
So I have to figure this out.
Fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson out here to walk us through this shit.
This is like, have I gone through this much of my life and not realized, because everybody just looks at it as convenience.
Yeah.
You might want to look at it next time you're cracking open those SpaghettiOs.
Right?
Maybe that box of Lucky Charms, you might want to read them ingredients.
That's why I can't believe that we live as long as we do already when we're like essentially poisoning our body for our entire lives.
It's bad, isn't it? It's bad. It's really bad. It's like, then you look at like all the people that live to be like 105, 110, 112. And then, you look at what they eat and they eat real food.
Yeah.
Like they actually
grow themselves and shit, basically.
But, even if not that, they eat real food. They make their own food, right? And they're drinking and they're smoking and they're doing this and that. And you're like, I know a dude didn't make it to 40 because he was doing half of that, right?
Right.
But you look at what generation they grew up in. And how the nutrient content of that food has changed.
Yeah.
Right? It's like lettuce. I don't know why everybody keeps buying lettuce. There's only like 3 or 4 different types of lettuce that have a nutritional value. The rest of it is fucking water.
Really?
You're just buying paper mache.
But I like the crunch. I like the crunch in my sandwich.
It's paper mache, I swear to God. It's like, but when you look at the nutritional, and they in the agricultural world, they look at a lot of things because sugars have a big part of that when it comes to vitamins, right? And the correlation to nutritional value. And so that's called the Brix level, right? And what's crazy is if you have your own home garden and you happen to have a refractometer that actually measures Brix.
A refractometer?
Yeah, we're getting technical here. But if you take a juice sample out of a commercially available tomato and you put it on there and you take a measurement and then you take one out of your own garden and you put it on there, your home garden is usually double that.
Like nutritional value. Wow.
With the Brix level, and it's usually double that. And it's like, I'm scared. You're all gonna die. I worked really hard for that $3.99 for that cluster of tomatoes, and you're not giving me my value.
Right?
I'm scared.
Seriously though, and even on regular standards, I eat terribly. I eat fucking gushers and gummies, and I can't believe that I'm still fucking alive after seeing that Coca-Cola is putting you in an early grave.
I think maybe that might have something to do with your eyeball.
What? No way. My eyeball's doing all right. I can see part of this camera.
Oh my God! The only 20-something-year-old that I know that has like what is that disease called?
Keratoconus.
No, that's yours.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's another one that's old people get where it just literally starts diminishing. It's not cataracts. It's something else. I'll think of it in the episode. Maybe not. But it's bad. It's bad.
My mom was just telling me actually that somebody with keratoconus, the same thing that I had, just had some successful procedure done or something that regenerated 100% of their vision from their damaged eye.
So they lined you up and got kicked in the head by a donkey?
That is fixed. But that gave me some hope, because originally they told me that there was no repairing the damage that had been done. So maybe at some point in my life, just put me in a robot body already. That's so I can
coming, dude.
So I can get out of this flesh suit that's breaking down.
It's coming. It is coming. I mean, just the sheer sustainability of what we have, what everybody knows as Earth, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, because but that also goes back to what we're talking about. Is like I sent you another video. It shows the actual size of the U.S. compared to other countries.
Yeah, because it stretched it over the map. Yeah,
it's like we don't have a shortage.
Yeah,
we can grow some shit.
Right.
There's a lot of open space.
Right.
Why aren't we growing more shit?
Yeah, for real. That's what Elon Musk was talking about in solar panels and energy. He was like, if you covered, he was like, I forget exactly what he said, but it was like not that much area. He was like, it was like 200 square miles or something. He was like, if you covered 200 square miles of the U.S. in solar panels, it could power the whole fucking world. I was like, what?
The whole world?
He was like, it really isn't that much. He was like, you could literally, it's like, we have the land, we have deserts and shit that you could do it in. He was like, if you could do it, it could power the whole U.S. easily as fuck. Like 10 times over or something. I was like holy shit.
We could repurpose like the Mojave and
right.
The Sahara Desert,
right.
And the Gobi Desert.
Just cover them in solar panels.
I mean, Jesus Christ, Earth looked like a giant disco ball floating around in space. What's that shiny thing?
Right. For real though. Seriously. I can't believe with all the fucking wind in Wyoming that doesn't power the entire freaking nation.
Oh, there's a great skit. There's a great skit about with George Carlin about Wyoming and what you could do there.
Yeah.
You should really check that out.
Yeah.
If you all don't know, just look up George Carlin in Wyoming, and he goes on about building this giant wall around the entire state, and then you section it off in 4 sections, and you put your offenders, your specific offenders in different sections. And then the door opens every once in a while so they can cross over and they can like interbreed and all this bullshit. And then like you dump a bunch of guns and food in there, and then in different quadrants, and they end up making their own social structure, and it's just insane. But it's with George Carlin, nothing is normal. Nothing is normal. But yeah, I don't know, man. I was watching that really made me think for a minute, and not to say that my soda intake hasn't gone down. I don't really like a lot of caffeinated sodas, but just soda in general on how much sugar is in those fucking things. And then I'm like, Riri.
My question is, in me, where does it all go? Because I read that thing about the Coke, and it was like 100% of your sugar intake in 5 minutes of the day. And then your liver fucking panics and immediately starts converting it into fat.
Right.
I'm like, where is it?
It'll catch up.
What's happening?
It'll catch up. Trust me. It'll catch up. He doesn't know yet.
Right.
Give it about 5 years. And then we'll have the same
tide will turn,
we'll have the same conversation. He'll be like, God damn it.
But I already don't drink a whole lot of soda or anything.
No, you really don't. It's just the rest of the shit you put in your body.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, God
hopefully microwave bagel bites and mac and cheese is good for you, because then I'll live to be 100.
It makes you think, do you actually need a replicator? Will a replicator actually make it nutritionally good for you? Or just, it's just like all the trash that's in the spaceship that they just fucking repurpose.
Right.
It just deionizes that shit and reforms it. And you're literally eating somebody else's turd.
Right.
I mean, come on.
It's good.
Brownies. Brownies. We got brownies 7 days a week up in this bitch.
Fucking gross.
I don't know. It makes you think, though. There's just so much. Don't mind the noise. We got some work going on in the shop today.
Yeah.
But
if they can even hear it. I don't know how much they can hear, but...
Oh, you can hear it.
Do you hear that little cat purring?
That's a big cat. That's not a little cat. That's a big cat. One day we'll have to do a shop tour.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure if any of you want to know what the shop actually looks like in the back and the cars that get worked on and what's going on in the background, Rooster put a link down to the race team that's been running. And if you haven't checked that out, Rooster will leave another link down below. But yeah, there's lots of stuff behind the scenes you guys don't see. And a lot of people say, oh, you guys just have this studio and you have this and that. No, it's an operational shop.
Right.
There's shit going on in the background. Fingers get smashed on a regular.
Noses, freaking everything.
Right? Arms, hands, legs, torsos.
Right.
Floor jacks are a good thing. But we got to get some refills.
Yes, we do.
We will see you in a few minutes.
Yep. We'll be back.
Cheers.
That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to, that show.